Welcome back to AM Northwest. Our first guest says the right body language can help make our travels safer, more comfortable, and more rewarding. Here to tell us more, we welcome back the author of Human Lie Detection and Body Language 101, Vanessa Van Edwards. Good to see you, Vanessa.
Thanks.
Okay, so let's talk about using body language and gestures and all of that in other countries, because sometimes we may make a gesture and we have no clue what it means to them.
Yes, exactly. And also, traveling is awesome, so there's just little tricks you can do to make it even better. So I thought I would start with the very beginning of the trip, just getting in line, right? So you get to the airport, bus stop, train stop, waiting in line. There's actually body language you can do to prevent people from cutting you or pushing you. Right? If you have a barrier.
In?
Yeah, so the thing that you want to do is you want to stand with your feet more than shoulder width apart. I know this sounds a little odd. This is actually,
you're owning your space.
You're claiming your space.
Right.
That's how police officers stand, right? They do that so that they're not pushed, so that people give them a wide breadth around them. So that's how you want to stand in line. Once you get to the counter, people always say, so how do I get gate agents to, like, you know, upgrade me or give me that extra special seat, or if you're running late, you want to ask for a favor. What you want to do is use your trust indicators. So in body language, we teach that your hands are the windows into the soul.
Okay.
So when our brains can see someone's hands, their trust and honesty ratings go up. So at the counter, what often happens, because the counters are really high at the airport, you have your hands at your bags. What you're better off doing is leaving your bags on the floor and putting your hands on the counter and leaving them loose. Don't put them in fists.
Okay.
And gesture that way. Studies show that when
say, please, may I get an upgrade?
Please, can I have an upgrade?
I would love one.
I would love a free first-class meal.
Oh.
Right? That's exactly how. So just having your hands visible, that's going to help. It's going to make things way smoother.
Gotcha.
So then once you get on the plane, you get into a small seat. People always tell me, how can I take charge of my seat? How can I get that armrest?
Yeah.
Right?
Men usually take up your armrest.
Typically.
Or then you're sharing it, and then that's creepy, too.
And that's kind of awkward, right? Okay, so here's a couple little tips you can do, and I've done this on dozens of planes. You want to use the rule of reciprocity. So we are taught from a very young age that you're supposed to share, right? It's hardwired in our brains. So what you can do is first, when you get into your seat, immediately put down the armrest. And you also want to put your bag either in between your legs so that you can have your legs wider spread, you know, because sometimes people will cross their legs nice and small. So you want to take up the space in your seat.
Oh, again, taking up the space.
Yeah, take up the space. And then when you feel their arm on the armrest, what you can do is you can lightly touch your elbow to the top of their arm. This will actually signal them almost always to move their arm. It's the rule of reciprocity. So you can actually take turns doing this. And I've done it on dozens of flights where after about 15 minutes, you can lightly touch the top of their arm and they'll realize, oh, not my turn anymore. They actually subconsciously realize. Now, if you have someone who isn't good at sharing, which happens, you have to wait till they go to the bathroom and then you claim the armrest.
And then,
reset.
Because then they can't take it over.
Reset the armrest.
Okay, so avoiding when you now, let's say you're in another country.
Yeah, and you're walking down the street, I want to teach you how to avoid pickpockets. Okay, so pickpockets look for what's called victim body language. They want to do this because A, they think that you're not paying attention, you're not going to see them, and B, you're probably not going to chase after them. So victim body language is really easy to change. It's when you lower your head and your chin. So victims often will tuck their chin in. Sometimes they're reading their phone. And they roll their shoulders in. So pickpockets look for that character roll in and down. So to avoid a pickpocket, you want to look like you're always walking towards a destination, roll your shoulders back, and keep your head and your chin up. You're much less likely to get pickpocketed because you don't look like you're a victim.
We actually were in line in Italy years ago, and we watched this guy, this pickpocket came right after him, and he was just so kind of, I don't know, he wasn't aware, he didn't seem aware, and he didn't know what the kids were doing, and we automatically saw it and pulled the kids away, and I just thought, how did you not see that? How did you not get, he just wasn't self-aware at all. Yeah,
and keeping your head and chin up actually tunes your brain in to be more aware. Right, because then you're looking, you're taking in your environment.
And you're right, he was just kind of hanging there,
head down. Okay, so gestures, this is what we started off talking about. So here are a couple gestures you don't want to make in other countries. France. A-OK means something good here. It means 0 in France.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so if a waiter,
like you're a loser.
Yeah, right. If a waiter's like, so how'd you like the food?
A-OK.
Right, it actually means 0. I did not like it. So want to avoid that in France.
Oh, interesting.
In Britain, so in Britain, this is the V for victory symbol. That's okay. Palm out. But what you don't want to do is flip it this way. When you flip it this way, it's a very crude gesture.
Oh,
right?
good
so
one.
if you're going to do the peace sign, make sure you always keep out. All right.
Avoid doing any signs whatsoever. I think might be the safest way to go.
I agree. After this segment, you're going to be like, oh, I'm not going to do any hand gestures.
I don't know what that means. Okay.
Turkey and Greece. So you spent some time in Greece.
Yeah, and we learned that, this
Right. So you say this when a car says thank you or stop. It actually is a very crude gesture in Greece and Turkey. You want to avoid it.
Right in someone's face. Yeah.
Right. It's very rude, so you want to avoid doing that. So this one, the rock-on gesture, we see.
I see a lot of people doing selfies with that.
Yeah. Okay. So the rock-on or the UT gesture. This is okay here, but in the Mediterranean countries, actually means someone's being cuckolded.
Oh.
So you don't want to do it.
Oh, in Hawaii, it also means hang loose too,
right.
doesn't it?
Oh yeah. Hang loose. This one's hang loose.
Oh, that's hang loose. Yeah,
so
gotcha.
this one, don't do the rock-on in pictures.
Do the rock-on.
No selfies.
Okay.
And the last one is the thumbs-up gesture. In Africa and the Middle East, this is also a very crude gesture. So the thumbs up to someone is not a safe gesture when you're traveling in Africa and the Middle East.
And I would think just in general, when you talk about just traveling in general at the airport in other countries, just to walk around as if you're confident in where you are, right? Yeah. I mean, you're probably going to, as we learned, look at a map. So you're going to be obvious that you're a tourist, but...
So it's okay if it's obvious you're a tourist, but yeah, having the purpose. And also, the last tip is really to just observe what the Romans are doing, right? So when in Rome, do as the Romans do. If you're not really sure what you're supposed to do, observe everyone first to make sure that you got the body language, the gestures down. For example, in greetings.
Yeah.
In Western countries, we handshake, but in some other countries, there's bowing, hugging. In Mexico, the abrazo, people often greet first time on a hug. 1 kiss in Scandinavian countries, 2 kisses in South American countries, 3 kisses in the Netherlands and in some parts of the Middle East.
No, really? Yeah. So yeah, pay attention to what they do.
Just pay attention, because then you're not going to make a fool of yourself.
Right.
You're observing the culture before you try anything that might not work.
Oh, smart ideas. Okay, we're going to put these tips on our website at k2.com. Again, the book is titled Human Lie Detection and Body Language 101. Vanessa Van Edwards. Vanessa, thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.